now let's go ahead and insert a third node. And we could see that there is a pattern behind this madness. And once we figure that out, then we can automate with loops in terms of data entry, in terms of data traversing, and so on. And we have indicators that will tell us when to stop, especially when we're traversing to read the content of the list. We know we're going to reach the tail when the internal pointer is pointing to null. So that's a really good flag to say when to stop reading the list. Okay, but that's for later. For now, let's test this and make sure that we're getting consistent results in terms of insertion and in terms of brute force reading the list by writing it like this without writing loops, okay? So notice what I'm going to do is create another node. All I'm going to do is copy the exact same code we had to create node 2, right? So I'm just going to copy this and copy it with the comment. We're doing the same thing here. And let's paste it right here. Okay? And this would be the third node. Let's call it CL3. And let's populate its data members with values. And then assign CL3's next to point to the head, while at that time, the head is pointing to CL2. And then switch it where the actual head now is pointing to CL3, your new data member. Okay? All right, so we should be able to replicate the code by doing this. So I'm just going to copy this part right here. And that would be our next two lines. And you can see after a while, once you figure out how this works, it's pretty straightforward. Now, you're going to say, what's the advantage again of using lists versus arrays? Notice that my list dynamically increases as I add more nodes. In more advanced topics for this, related to this, we're going to learn how to remove nodes. Okay? So we'll do it graphically first before we remove a node so you get to see that it's really a manipulation of pointers. All right, so I've got this here printing 3 times because I have 3 nodes. Okay? I am not using the flag that I have next pointing to null, nothing in that nature. I am simply, I know exactly how many objects I have here, and I'm doing it this way, but to prove the point that we can access a dynamic array or a dynamic data structure, right? So let's go ahead and compile this, compile and run. So enter client, Joe, balance of $20, Jane, and a balance of 78.23, and then Kelly with a balance of 50.12. Now let me hit enter, and there you have it. Okay, so it's working just fine. So in our next lecture, what we're going to do is automate the data entry. We're going to create some sort of loop, maybe a while loop that says, do you want to enter another item or another client? And as long as you say yes, you're going to be in there. And if you say no, then that means that allows you to create a list as big as you want, okay, as the program grows. And then we're going to see a technique on how to traverse the list no matter what's its size. See you then.